Greetings and welcome to this edition of
Positronic.
I'm Barry P. Cook. I'm here to talk about the latest episode of The Boys. It was called Here Comes a Candle to Light You to Bed. As it starts, we see that Starlight is still talking about all the crazy shit going on between Homelander and VOUGHT and everything. She's still making videos and streaming about it, while VOUGHT continues to deny everything. Soldier Boy is holed up at the home of the character played by Paul Rudd, whose name I forget. And while there, he's stooping the help and still has ex-team members to take out, but Butcher can't seem to find them. Homelander visits Maeve in the cell where she's being held and asks her where Butcher is, which she doesn't know, and tells her that he wants to harvest her eggs for procreative purposes. She tells him that she got a thrill from seeing him actually scared. You know, because he's scared of Soldier Boy. Speaking of Soldier Boy, he apparently has PTSD, which is why he keeps losing control of his chest blast thing. Black Noir visits with some little cartoon buddies, but I couldn't tell whether it was real or he was imagining it or he was high. I'm guessing it's one of the latter two, and that there aren't really cartoon people in the universe. But it was a weird scene to see him start interacting with these cartoon people. Anyway, Butcher, Huey, and Soldier Boy encounter Mindstorm in the woods when he sees them before they see him as they were approaching his suspected whereabouts. And he puts Butcher into a hallucination which incapacitates him. I guess that's his power. In this hallucination, Butcher gets beaten by his dad while protecting his little brother. It's a flashback type thing. Kimiko and Frenchie, meanwhile, show up at Mother Milk's place and are taken in by he and Starlight. While Frenchie and Mother's Milk study Russian videos of Soldier Boy, Starlight tends to Kimiko, who asks her to get her some V to get her powers back. But Starlight is reluctant to do this because she would have to sneak into the tower or whatever. And she's kind of persona non grata. We then get a scene of the Deep asking his wife to let him bring an octopus into their bed, one that he met at Herogasm, but she declines to participate and takes off on him after he has an interlude with the octopus in front of her. Back to Black Noir, we see that the cartoons are showing him an animation of Soldier Boy kicking his ass after he complained about being passed over for the role of Axel Foley in Beverly Hills Cop. I guess back in the 80s, which now is, I guess, a memory he's forgotten or had forgotten. Back in Butcher's hallucination, he smacks his headmaster around after he insults him by saying he might turn out to be like his dad. Soldier Boy kills a priest and a nun whom he realizes have been compromised by Mindstorm, but only after the nun attacks Huey, because Huey didn't believe him that they were compromised after SB killed the priest. Homelander shit talks Starlight at a VOUGHT farm rally type thing before walking off the stage in fear after he thinks he sees Soldier Boy in the crowd and finds himself milking a cow and drinking the milk. I don't know what that's about, but yeah. When Natalie stumbles upon him in the barn and confronts him about his downward spiral, he starts to choke her out, but she gives him a paper and says that she can help him with what's vexing him. Ashley visits A-Train in the hospital and gives him a cover story for killing Blue Hawk that blames Blue Hawk's death on Soldier Boy, and it turns out that A-Train has been given Blue Hawk's heart. Ashley apparently wants A-Train to join the chorus of people talking shit about Starlight, and she tells him that they're already planning his next movie, which is supposed to be his origin story. Frenchie comes to the conclusion that the Russians used a nerve agent that would kill anybody else, horribly, to incapacitate Soldier Boy back in, I guess, the 80s or 90s or whatever, and tells Mother's Milk that if they want to get some to use on Homelander or Soldier Boy or both, they have to go back to Russia. Kimiko explains that she wants to get her powers back because she's afraid of losing Frenchie at some point if she's not able to fight to protect him because she doesn't have powers. Starlight sneaks into the tower to get some Compound V for Kimiko and sees in some paperwork that's lying around in the lab that after a few doses of temporary Compound V, the people taking it die. Back to Black Noir, the cartoon characters show him yet another cartoon video which tells the story of what actually happened to cause his injuries, which it turns out was that he got bashed in the head by Soldier Boy when his team attacked him and ultimately incapacitated him with the nerve agent. Mother's Milk confronts his ex's boyfriend after he learns that the boyfriend took his daughter to a Homelander rally, which put her in danger, seeing as Homelander is being hunted. And it turns out that the boyfriend totally believes VOUGHT's bullshit about how Starlight is lying about Homelander and that she is in fact sex trafficking kids, which of course is a nod to recent politics in America and fake news and all that. Homelander confronts Starlight in the hallway at VOUGHT Tower and tells her to recant her statement or he'll hurt Huey. And she makes like she was live streaming everything he just said, which he reacts to by pretending they were just running lines and that she wasn't supposed to be recording him. Whether she was actually live streaming what he said or not, we don't know, but she says she was. Soldier Boy and Huey find Mindstorm again, and Huey teleports him away, telling him that he's not really with Soldier Boy, and pleads with him to please wake Butcher up and promises to teleport him somewhere where no one will find him so that he'll be safe. In the hallucination, Butcher tries to stop his younger self from leaving his brother behind, which apparently he did in real life, according to his younger self, in order to try to take the heat off of his brother, which apparently didn't work, but because it's a hallucination, he's unable to stop his younger self, after which his brother, who up to that point couldn't see him in the hallucination, calls him out for leaving him while loading a gun, which he then eats, as they say. He blew his head off. Mindstorm then wakes him up just before Soldier Boy takes Mindstorm down from a distance with a throwing knife before closing the distance and beating the crap out of him with his shield, hitting him in the face with it and the head until he's dead. But not before Mindstorm tells Soldier Boy something disturbing concerning the details of why VOUGHT wanted him taken out. Starlight calls Butcher when she can't reach Huey and lets him know that they can only take a few doses of the Temp V before it turns their brains into Swiss cheese, and urges him to tell Huey, but when Huey shows up, he declines to do so and in fact tells him that they need to get more so they can finish the job. So it seems like he's gambling that they can do it one or two more times and not be harmed and still complete the mission they're on, which is a dangerous gambit, but yeah. Kimiko, meanwhile, takes the permanent compound V that Starlight got for her and her wounds disappear. It turns out that what Mindstorm told Soldier Boy was that a sperm sample he gave in 1980 to VOUGHT was used to create Homelander, who was born in 1981. And Soldier Boy calls Homelander to tell him that the plan has changed before he gives him the good news, quote unquote. Now, it seems to me that he is now intent on teaming up with Homelander, who is his son. And that is just going to be bad for everyone, if that's what he's actually planning. And it's funny because just last week I was saying, like, why are these people trusting that they'll be any better off with Soldier Boy ruling the roost once he takes Homelander out? Like, why do they think that, you know, swapping one sort of crazy guy for a completely crazy guy that no one, you know, can take down, either of them? How do they think that's a good idea? And what if they team up? Now you have the two of them working against you. Like really? And it seems that that might be what's in the offing. So, I mean, how could they not see that coming? Like, I don't know. As usual, though, this was a good episode. The plot twists are very entertaining and intriguing. I find that this week I actually do care about Kimiko and Frenchie, where last week I was saying, I really don't care about them. But this week I kind of do. I don't know, I find myself caring about their plot line, but I still don't give a rat's ass about A-Train's plot line. Like, really, just completely boring. Now, if he's got a new heart and he's able to get his run on, you know, normally like he used to, and he can be shown doing super stuff without it incapacitating him, I could maybe get behind him being on the show. But like, he's just there. He doesn't do anything. It's just dialogue, and his story isn't even interesting. So maybe that'll change. That would certainly be good. I was glad to see that Maeve is in fact still alive. She's in captivity and that sucks, but she's still alive, so that's good. Antony Starr continues to creep me the hell out. with his completely sociopathic, crazed, broken-minded performance. He's just fantastic. I'm enjoying the Soldier Boy character because he's kind of a jerk and he's funny and he has 0 fucks to give. So he's enjoyable to watch. Huey continues to annoy me. He's just annoying. Like, not much you can do about that. Butcher, of course, is a kick-ass character and he's still great. So, you know, I'm enjoying the show. Good episode. There are more to come. I will be back with reviews of the subsequent episodes as they are released. Until then, my friends, I wish you peace and long life.